We're now going to talk about wholes and proportions, and I'm going to show you the two different ways you can solve these based on which way you think is best. There's a great example in the book to look over to see all the ways, but I'm just going to show you two different ways today. So this is our problem. Mr. Goodwin, the 6th grade math teacher, asked the class to determine 25% of 44. And then I don't have the 5 different students responded. That's going to be in your book. So I'm just going to show you two different ways that I would do it. And the first way is algebraic. So I'm going to explain how algebraic works, and then you can choose this way or you can choose the other, which is going to be the part over whole. So let's go through the algebraic one first. So when you're looking at algebraic, you're actually looking at the different ways, the different terminologies you need for algebraic expressions. So one of the terminologies you need to know is of means times. So when you hear the word of, it's usually going to be times. And so if we look at this example we have here, you can see that right here is an of. So that's going to be times. And then you also need to remember that if you have 25%, that's going to equal 0.25. So then when I look at this, I know that 25% is 0.25. So I'm going to say 0.25. Of is multiplication, so times, and then 44. And I can just put that into my calculator. And when I do that, I can see that 0.25 times 44 is going to be 11. So the answer here is 11. And that is the one way you can do it, is algebraic. The other way is going to be the part over whole. So let's look at that example. So we have the same example, but now it's part over whole. So you might have done this in elementary school where it's part over whole equals percent over 100, or you can think of it as is over of equals percent over 100. So when I look at this, there's the word of again. So since it's the of, then that means that it goes here on the bottom. So it's going to be over 44 because that's the of part, equals. Now it's got the percent, so 25 over 100. And now we don't know what this one is up here. So this one's a question mark, or you could put a variable. I'm just going to put a question mark. So we are going to now solve it. One way we can do this is cross multiply or cross reduce. So we're going to go 100 times the question mark, because we don't know what the question mark is, equals 44 times 25. Okay, so then in my calculator, I go 44 times 25, and I get 1,100. So 100 times a question mark equals 1,100. And then I have to think 100 times what is going to be 1,100. So I want to divide by 100 to both sides. And I will get the question mark equals 11. Because when I divide the 1100 by 100, I get 11. So as you can see, I got the same answer for both of them. They were both 11, just a different way to do it. Whichever way makes more sense to you, you should do. So on this one, I filled in the chart is over of. I knew of was 44, so I put that there. And then percent was 25, so I put it over 100. And then what I did is I multiplied, or the butterfly method, as you might know. So I did the question mark times 100, and I put it over here. And then I did the 45 times 100, and I put it over here. And then I multiplied to get 1100, and then divided by what was by the in front of the question mark, and I got 11. And so you can choose which way to do it on the next slide.